Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, my dear students. Today I'm going to explain unit number 1, the brain and the nerves of class 5. So first you have to open your books, page 2. Okay, so before I'm going to start it, let me give you some example. You open a book and start reading, right? You hear some music and recognize the song. You can see things, hear different sounds, taste food, and discover many things about the world around you, right? All this and more is possible because we have sense organs. We have 5 sense organs, right? We will discuss it. But how? Have you ever think that how do the eyes know what they are seeing? How can the ears tell the difference between the sound of a human voice and that of a car? Say, for example, you can hear many different sounds, right? Even when you are on the road and the traffic, so you can hear the traffic sounds, your different cars and vehicle sounds, right? You hear music, so you can recognize these kinds of things, right? Now we have to find the answer that how we could able to differentiate things, to know the difference between soft voice and harsh voice, know the difference between different taste, right? So the answer is the brain. The brain, with the help of nervous system, detects the world around us. Our answer is, again I'm repeating, our brain. The brain, with the help of nervous system, detects the world around us, right? Which means brain directs our 5 sense organs, what they have felt, here, or what they have to do, right? What is nervous system? The brain, spinal cord. Spinal cord basically is your backbone, and nerves form a very efficient communication network. This network is known as the nervous system. Inshallah, in next topic I will explain it in more detail. So our brain, our spinal cord, which links to the brain and the whole nerve system, it forms a very effective communication network. So this is known as nervous system. Okay, now we have to know what is brain. Our topic is brain. What is brain? The brain is the control system of the body. It controls all the activities of the body. We always used to say that plants and or simply you can say cells have a very, you can say, a very effective control system, or the core central part, that is nucleus. We often used to say that nucleus is the main central part of a cell. So similarly here, the brain is the control system of the body. It controls all the activities of your body. Now what does it look like? It looks like a large pinkish gray walnut. It looks like a large, and its color is pinkish gray and walnut. Have you know about walnut? Have you seen walnut? Walnut is a dry fruit, right? So its shape is just like a walnut, अखरोट. आप कहते हो ना अखरोट? अखरोट is basically walnut. What does it feel like? It feels soft and squishy and has many folds and creases. You may underline a word creases. So what is creases? Creases is basically when you taking example of walnut, when you are taking walnut, after you are peeling off walnut, or you peel off its cover, so you can easily see in walnut there are some lines or cross lines, one and each other, right? So that lines are known as creases. So it feels soft and squishy and has many folds and arms and creases. So feels soft and squishy means that definitely it's a sensitive organ. It's a control center and it's a sensitive organ, so it feels soft and squishy. Now the human brain. Open your page 3. Come to next page, page 3. The human brain. It controls all of our activities. It is located inside the head at the top of the spinal cord and is protected by the skull. Okay, so as we all know that it controls all of our activities, it is located inside the head at the top of the spinal cord. Spinal cord is basically our backbone. So at the top of the spinal cord, inside the head, our brain is located, and it is protected by the skull. Skull is composed of bones, right? So it needs to be protected. The reason is, say when you are going to a market and you buy some fresh foods or vegetables for you, what you have to do, you have to cover it up properly, or you put you put that vegetable or fruit in a safe place, right? The reason is because they have to kept safe. So similarly here, our brain as a sensitive organ and the main important organ, it has to kept safe. That is why the brain is protected by the skull. The human brain is made up of trillion of cells. The cells of the human body is made up of trillion of cells. We all know that our body is composed of different cells, bones, and kinds of the cells of the nervous system are called nerve cell or neuron. Or simply you can say the nerve cells which make up the brain, or which make up the brain, are known as neurons. About 100 billion nerve cells make up the brain. All the nerve cells are linked together to control all the body's activities. So as we say that these nerve cells, it's all about 100 billion nerve cells which make up the brain, means neurons. 100 billion nerve cells make up the brain. So these neurons simply link together to control all the body's activities, right? Okay, now we have to move parts of the brain. The human brain is divided into 3 main parts: cerebrum, cerebellum, medulla, or brainstem. Different parts of the brain do different jobs. Now let's discuss it separately, one by one. Okay, first is cerebellum. The cerebellum is the largest part of the brain. It is divided vertically into 2 halves. Okay, so as I've told you that our brain has 3 main parts, but the cerebrum is the first most largest part of the brain. It is divided vertically into 2 halves. Okay, so as it is divided vertically into 2 halves, I want to tell you about an important thing, that is its right half. I'm talking about cerebrum, right? So its right half controls the left side of the body, and similarly its left half controls the right side of the body, means opposite, right? Means opposite. Your body and your cerebellum's half connects oppositely. Think like that your right part of the, again I'm repeating, your right part of the cerebrum controls the left side of the body, and your left half of the cerebrum controls your right part of the body, or right side of the body. Okay, the cerebrum controls your voluntary actions. Now what are voluntary actions? Voluntary actions, you can simply think, are those which is in your control, right? Which is in your control, like thinking, feeling, decision making. If you want to take a decision, you can think first, right? Decision making, reading, listening, seeing. So these are in your control. So these are known as voluntary action. It enables you to touch and feel the texture of thing. Feeling, sense of feeling, right? So it enables you to touch and feel the texture of thing. It also enables you to remember things. Okay, now second one is cerebellum. The cerebellum is located below the cerebrum and above the medulla. It is the second most part of the brain, and it is located below the cerebrum, which is the largest part of the brain, and above the medulla, which is the lowest part of the brain. It controls balance and movement of the joints and muscles. It helps you to run, walk, and jump. Okay, what does it mean that it controls balance and movement of the joints and muscles? Okay, so you know that in a single day we oftenly use our hands to move, our legs to move, like we do different work with the help of our hands, right? So our body, you can say simply, in our body there are so many muscles and joints which help us to move. So similarly it helps to, so these are controlled by cerebrum, the second part of the brain, cerebellum. It helps you to run, walk, and jump. It also do physical activities in which all, you can say, muscles are involved. So cerebellum is also do physical activities in which all the muscles and joints are involved. Okay, now the last or third one part of the brain is medulla, last but not the least. It is the lowest part of the brain. It also called brain stem. Always remember that we also oftenly use a word brain stem instead of medulla. So don't get confused, because brain stem is the second name of medulla. Why we say brain stem? Stem because it, you can say, it connects the whole brain with the spinal cord, right? So that's why we say it's a standing position. So you can say it also called brain stem. It controls involuntary actions. Now what are involuntary actions? Involuntary actions are those which is beyond your control, which is not in your control at all, like breathing, digesting, and the beating of the heart muscles. Can you say your heart muscle that I want to do a work but you have to stop? No. How could we do this? How could we even imagine this? And breathing, digesting, even you are taking a sleep, that doesn't mean your digestion going to sleep as well, or your breathing stop or going to sleep as well. No, nothing is like that. These are the actions which are involuntary actions. They are beyond our control. We cannot control it by ourselves. Medulla keeps working all the time. This is the most important point of the medulla, that medulla keeps working all the time. Even the rest of the body goes to sleep, medulla keeps working because it performs it voluntary actions which is completely controlled by brain. And always remember how our body connects with the brain. So the spinal cord connect with the medulla, or you can say